Hi, welcome to Hospitality Live with Rupesh. Each week, we feature an industry leader that will share the latest trends and the best strategies to help you grow. Now, welcome your host, Rupesh Patel.
Hey guys, comment and let me know where you're watching
With Rupesh.
I always mess it up. I mess it up every week. Guys, comment, let me know where you're watching from. This is episode number 86. 86 weeks in a row that we've been doing this. I love it. Guys, thank you so much. Comment, let me know where you're watching from. I would love to see where all of you guys are listening from, watching from. There's people from like all over the world typically chiming in. And this episode, we're talking about hotel reviews, and we're talking about what hotels need to do right now. We're talking about the 10 must-dos for hotel reviews. And let me see if I can pull up where people are watching from. All right, we got London in the house, Michigan, Milwaukee, Tennessee, Malaysia. Hey, good morning. Dell's in the house. Good morning, Dell. We got some great news to share this morning. Can't wait. Super excited about the new announcement. We got Denver. All right, we got Ontario, Daytona, ATL, Texas. We got Texas again. Guys, good morning. Let us know where you're watching from. Super excited. Many hotels make this mistake when they're talking about reviews. I'll be counting down the top 10 must-dos for your hotel and their reviews. So we're talking about tips, tools, strategies, and we have our friend Joanne Green. She's on. She's an expert in this topic, and we're going to talk about the 10 things that your hotel needs to do right now as we all grow. And we got and listen, we also need to find out what you need to be doing on and which review sites are popular and that you need to be focusing on. All right. So we got Chicago in the house, Virginia, ATL, Toronto. Hey, good morning. Texas, India, NYC's in the house, North Carolina, Alabama. Guys, comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I love finding out where people are like tuning in from, like all over the place. So, and guys, bring in some people right now. Share this link to this live on your LinkedIn profile so you get more people to come in. We got Plano, Texas in the house. Hey, Jan, how are you doing? All right, so you're also going to discover some tools. Discover more than 3 or 4 tools that we're going to share, probably like 5 or 6, what your hotel needs to be using right now as we all continue to grow. And of course, today we have Sarah Dandashy on. She's going to be on with the Hospitality Minute. It's always a pleasure finding out what's going on in hospitality. Guys, comment. Let us know where you're watching from. And somebody hit the like button. We got Madrid in the house. We got Toronto in the house. I can't wait till Canada opens up. Last week, I posted a picture on it was like a throwback Thursday picture about my trip to Banff, Canada. And it is beautiful out there. It's amazing. I can't wait till Canada opens up again and we get to travel. And I'm sure all of you guys are excited about getting back on the road as far as being comfortable. And you see it right now. Occupancy is picking up at our hotels. And so I'm super excited about that. We got Alabama in the house. We got Ohio in the house. Claremont, Florida. Good morning, Kevin. All right, so this episode is sponsored by smartguests.com. Somebody put smartguests with an S.com in the comments right now so somebody can click on it and save it as a bookmark. They're the sponsors of our show. Smart Guests helps your hotel with its operations, marketing, reviews, guest service scores, all of those things. If you need, Smart Guests has over 50 tools to help drive revenues and turn happy guests into loyal guests. Somebody go to smartguests.com and bookmark that page right now. And here's what you're going to see when you go to the website. And this is smartguests.com. Bunch of tools there for you to improve your hotel and your reviews and what we need right now. We're talking about reviews. So super excited about that. Every week I talk about a mindset. This week's mindset, let me see if I can pull it up. And it's true. And this is facts right here. Not everyone is cut out to be a hotel general manager. And we had thousands of people watch this look into this post I did 3 days ago. And it says a successful leader needs to possess passion, drive, commitment, resiliency, consistency. And then what else does a general manager or a leader at a hotel need? I would love to learn from you guys what you think And by the way, not everybody's cut out to be a general manager. Is that true or false? Like, those managers. I've worked for some managers in the past, and you're like, I don't think you're ready for this position because it's a lot of work, right? And it's a lot of commitment, like we talked about, and you have to be passionate about it. And I think that's powerful when we all look for someone to maybe fill our positions that we're looking for, or we're looking for a GM. If you're an owner, not everybody's cut out. And we've interviewed a bunch of people in the past, and I think you have to have that mindset when we're talking about growing. We have to be ready for what comes into play. And I was going to post about this past weekend, but I didn't. I'm going to post about it here in the next few days. Is over the weekend, I got a call at 4:00 in the morning, which I typically never get calls from our properties. Is they said, hey, we have a major flood in our lobby. We have like 4 inches of water in our lobby, and they don't know how to fix it. And I said, you know what? I built that hotel. I know exactly where we could look at. And so I actually drove in. I spent an hour driving in at 4:00 in the morning on Saturday night or Sunday morning. And by the way, we cut the water off, and a lot of GMs, including ours, didn't know where that water cutoff valve was. And this is something that everybody needs to learn as you have an emergency at your hotel. Like, what do you do, right? And so I'm going to be posting about this here in the next couple of days about what to do when there's an emergency, especially a flood. And and I know that there's oftentimes where hotels do get flooded by whatever, pipes, plumbing, whatever it is. There's always an issue, or there could be an issue. Are you ready for those? And that's why I said sometimes there are GMs out there, or there are people that think they could be a GM. Not everybody's cut out for it. That's my mindset this week. Every week I bring in, I talk about something that's good for us to grow with. And that's my mindset this week. All right, so we have my buddy Sarah on. Here she is.
Hi, I'm Sarah Dandashy from Ask a Concierge. Every week, I'll be sharing the latest hospitality and travel news and updates in a segment we like to call Hospitality Minutes.
What's up, Sarah?
What's up? It's so good to be here. We have a special surprise.
Yes. Where are you? You're not in your apartment. Where are you?
I'm not in my apartment. Correct. I'm not. I am at the Sonesta Select in Allentown, Bethlehem, in the Lehigh Valley. And if that sounds familiar for all of you that tune in regularly, you might recognize the name of somebody who always chimes in. She always listens faithfully every week. And that's Peggy Godfrey. And guess what? This is her hotel. And she's here.
Hi.
Hey, Peggy, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Peggy is awesome. She's always chiming in to all our posts, and she's very involved in the whole social media thing, especially on LinkedIn. So, Peggy, I appreciate you, your connection on LinkedIn and on social, and thank you so much for supporting Sarah and I. And everyone say hi, hit the comments and say hi to Peggy. And Peggy, we would love for you to. Actually, we would love for everybody to follow Peggy too on LinkedIn. I think that's powerful as we all continue growing. Peggy, what's going on in your city at your hotel?
Well, we're getting there. 50% occupancy. The beautiful, if anybody doesn't know about the Lehigh Valley, we're Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. We have 2 major colleges. We have 9 colleges, but 2 collegiate. Amusement park, lots of vineyards, as Sarah found out.
Yes, lots of vineyards.
It's a beautiful spring day. Everything is starting to bloom, and we have an international airport.
Well, the reason why we're laughing is Sarah texted me a picture on Sunday of you guys drinking at a vineyard, and I'm like, these guys are going to get in trouble. They're going to get arrested. They're whatever. Luckily, you're still alive and that you're here on this show. You guys had a great time, and I love that area. I didn't even know there was vineyards in your area, in Pennsylvania.
We have the largest wine trail in the state of Pennsylvania and in the surrounding areas.
That's awesome. Well, Peggy, thank you so much for always supporting us, and we're super excited to have you as a connection and an industry leader. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Sarah, are you ready for the Hospitality Minute?
Totally. Okay, I will switch it around over here. All right, perfect. So why don't we go ahead and dive into the Hospitality Minute? Okay, lots of great things. So the first topic, interestingly enough, is that we are seeing that there looks like there is going to be a car rental shortage. I don't know how many of you have been traveling as of late and needed to get a rental car, but think of this. When the pandemic hit, basically all of these car rental companies like Hertz, Avis, Enterprise sold off a large portion of their fleets to save money. Well, now, lo and behold, as this pent-up demand for travel is coming back and people are getting back out there, people are now wanting to get these car rentals, and these fleets don't have as many cars as they used to have. So what we're seeing is, for example, you can even look at Hawaii, for example. They've gone from where you used to be able to get a car rental for $50 a day, that now there's such a premium, it might even cost up to $500 a day. And we're not talking about for a Ferrari, okay? We're talking about for a pretty basic car. So it just goes to show you that that's going to be really interesting to see how the car rental industry moves forward out of this. I know we're always focused on the hotels, but car rentals are very much a part of the travel experience. So very interesting to share that. All right, moving right along. Accor Hotels, we are all familiar with. They're doing this really cool new promotion with Neil Patrick Harris. We all are familiar with the famous actor, about getting real. And I thought this was a really clever campaign because obviously, again, as different brands are coming out of this, we're tapping into travelers in a different way. And basically they're working with Neil Patrick Harris to teach travelers how to be a real person again after more than a year of the coronavirus pandemic. So we're all learning on how to be real again. Everything from travel related themes, from dressing, planning, greetings, small talk, relaxing, lighthearted, obviously. I think it's a very clever, cute thing, but it's that sort of social aspect that I think so many people have missed over the past year. And, of course, their whole thing is get real, experience it all. So thought that was a really, really cute thing that they are doing. All right, moving along. American Airlines. Okay. So I think Peggy will be happy about this. American Airlines is going to restart drink services on all domestic flights.
Oh, yeah.
So American Airlines is going to reintroduce full beverage service, including alcohol in first and business class cabins on all domestic flights beginning May 1st. So for those that might remember, last year, all of the domestic airlines were like, no drink service and definitely no alcohol was being served. So now they're slowly starting to reintroduce that. And American Airlines actually also said that later in the summer, they'll resume full main cabin service as well, including alcohol and food for purchase. So right now it's just a little baggy sort of things. But again, it's just all showing us that we're moving sort of in the right direction. All right. Then our last topic, I want to talk about Sonesta because I happen to be here at a Sonesta Select property. Now, for those that happen to be following the brand or just knowing what's going on in the world of hotels, Sonesta Select was actually launched in December of 2020. So it's still relatively new. It's their newest brand, and it's this sort of upscale, focused service, very, very service-focused brand as well. Now, when they started, there were only 9 properties, and now there are 58 Sonesta Selects across the United States currently. Now, what are they doing that makes this particular brand a little bit different? It's all about the local community, which is why this is so perfect, because this hotel happens to be based in a local community where my family lives. Which is why I was like, we have to come here. I have to come here and check it out. So the Sonesta Select brand is all about making connections, delivering amazing hospitality in communities that we call home. So it's all about being comfortable. They've got really large, spacious rooms. As you can see here, even the lobby area's got this cool modern theme. Really great. So definitely recommend that you check them out. They are new and hot. And thanks so much for the Sonesta Select brand for hosting us today. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Rupesh.
Absolutely. Sarah, can you do me a huge favor? Can you interview Peggy for like 3 minutes? I have somebody delivering something at my door right now.
I got it.
And I need to sign it. So
I got it.
Stand by. I'll be right back.
Okay. We got it. Okay, perfect. So I'm here obviously with Peggy, which by the way, just goes to show you that connect. This is the whole beauty of connecting on LinkedIn, doing these shows.
Absolutely.
And every week she would chime in being like, I'm tuning in from the Lehigh Valley. And I mean, that's where my family's from. So it's so nice to be able to
it was nice to connect with
come
you.
full circle. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the Sonesta Select brand, because this is new for you. You just started here 2 months ago.
Not even.
It's
been
2 months.
about 4 weeks.
Okay.
Be 4 weeks tomorrow. Next week.
Okay.
Sonesta Select is also for the business types. As you know, business travelers are not in there, but we're all about family as well.
Mhm.
We have a great swimming pool.
I saw the pool. It's quite terrific.
We still serve breakfast. Right now, it's still limited because of COVID, but that eventually will definitely go and they can get what they want.
Yes. How many rooms are here?
114.
Okay, so 114, and it seems like there's this really cool. It is comfortable here,
Mhm.
but it's modern. And from what I could see, I have not taken a tour yet of the rooms, but maybe after this. But they seem to be modern and
Very
spacious.
modern. This was renovated in 2019.
Okay, perfect. So newly renovated.
Newly renovated. The outdoor pool. What I like is the fire pit outside.
Yeah.
They have a beautiful fire pit outside where you can gather with family. The meeting space, we're getting more and more of the birthday parties.
Oh.
And the baby showers, because that's what's traveling right now.
Yeah.
Is the leisure market.
Yeah, and so that I was about to say, are you finding it's still a lot more of the drive-to markets?
It's the drive-to markets, and what's nice about this Select, we are the centerpiece of the Lehigh Valley.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is the Lehigh Valley is Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, ABE. We are right across from the airport.
Mhm.
We're right smack in the middle of the Lehigh Valley.
Yes. And so for those that don't know where the Lehigh Valley is in Pennsylvania, it's about an hour north of Philadelphia and about an hour and a half west of New York City.
An hour and a half, yep.
Hour and a half if she's
East.
driving. East.
No,
well, New York is east. We're west.
New York is east, right? We're west.
All right. Thank you so much. Sorry, I missed
I
everything.
didn't get lost by then.
We're
right. We're at a point where you go from everywhere. We could get to Harrisburg, Washington, D.C., New York City, and Philadelphia. Everybody's moving to the Lehigh Valley.
So definitely stay tuned. Follow me on social media, on Instagram. I'll probably do a couple of photos around the property a little bit. So there you go. That's it for today.
Awesome, Sarah. I know we have a boot camp coming up.
We do.
May.
May.
I think last week you called it Bapril, which Mapril.
We did. It is May 4th, 5th, and 6th. So that'll be a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will be doing it at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And it's a great, I love doing these boot camps because we get to uncover so many things. People end up taking away so much. And by the way, I know Rupesh, you agree on this, is that we're in touch with everybody and seeing everyone who's done the course and how they're implementing everything that we go over. It's such a great time. So definitely join us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sarah, the best part about this boot camp is not only just, we teach you how to grow your social media following and what you do and all the tools you use, but afterwards, like months and weeks later, these past attendees have asked us questions and been on this group chat and personally connected with us. And I think that's powerful as we all continue growing. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. So hit my website. It's rupesh.co/bootcamp. And if you want to learn more on we can all grow together. Sarah, where can people find you?
You can find me all over social media. My brand is Ask a Concierge. Definitely do a lot of updates on Instagram. If you're there, come join the party, or also connect here on LinkedIn as Sarah Dandashy.
Awesome, Sarah. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you for holding down the fort while somebody was knocking on my door and trying to deliver something.
All good.
And I was like, oh my God, right now you're supposed to call me 30 minutes prior to. You know how that goes. That's all good.
How it goes.
Sarah, talk to you next week.
All right. See you then.
Bye. All right, guys. Sarah's awesome. Please follow her. All right. So this is the episode number 86. We're talking about 10 must-dos for hotel reviews. And I have my buddy Joanne Green on. Hey, Joanne. How are you doing?
I'm good, Rupesh. How are you?
Where are you tuning in from or broadcasting from?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam,
the Netherlands. That is not Amsterdam in America.
The Netherlands. I've been there before. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. I love the Netherlands. It's different. It's quite different than what's happening in Florida, in Orlando. You guys are locked down. Prior to the show, you said we can't even go out of our house without without having major restrictions. What's going on in your part of the world, and when are things going to open back up as far as hotels?
Well, actually, the Netherlands is we've kind of been locked down in as much as the restaurants and cafes and bars have been shut since October. So it's actually been a real. I mean, I'm desperate. I'm desperate to go out and sit in a restaurant or sit on a terrace and have a glass of wine. But the good news is that supposedly next Wednesday, we will finally be able to do that. Between the hours of 12 and 6 p.m. But that's a start, and that's great because it's been tough. It's a bit easy in as much as kids have gone back to school. My daughter's gone back 2 days a week, so it's very slowly. The only problem we have, challenge, is the vaccine rollout. It isn't really happening at the moment. I don't really know what's going on, but whereas in the UK and in Israel and in America, it seems to be in full swing. It isn't yet in the Netherlands. I don't really know why, but slowly by slowly, we're seeing a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Are hotels open there?
They're open, yeah, but like Amsterdam used to have an occupancy of well over 90% just pre-COVID, and now the city probably has an occupancy, a single-digit occupancy. Let's put it that way. So it's because people don't come to Amsterdam if the museums are shut. The shops are open upon appointment, but it's not the same atmosphere. So it's a shame, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting and looking forward to hopefully this summer that things open back up and we get to travel across the borders and especially into Europe. I think a lot of places in Europe, a lot of countries and a lot of cities in Europe are still shut down and they have major restrictions. You were just saying that you haven't had a dinner out, and if you go out to dinner right now, it's like restricted to 2 people out of your house.
From next week, it will be restricted to 2 people. Yeah, at a table. I understand. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I thank you for coming on. The fortunate thing is with technology, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world and share ideas. Today, we're talking about the 10 must-dos for hotel reviews. Tell us about your background real quick before we get into the 10 things that we must all do.
I've worked in hotels. My father was a general manager, so I kind of have it in my blood. I worked for hotels in the States and also in London. And then I worked for Gulliver's Travel Associates, which is a very large wholesale tour operator. And it was there after, discussing with hotels on a regular basis. I worked there for over 25 years. And I just realized that most hotels' objectives is to make more money. I mean, most businesses' objectives is to make more money. And also direct bookings was a number one objective. And I just realized that if you respond to your reviews in a certain way, you can generate more revenue and get more direct bookings. So that's when I realized that it's a great service, and it's something that hotels don't seem to understand or have the time really to spend too much on their responding to their reviews. So I thought there's a hole in the market, and I'm here to cover that hole, or whatever you say.
Yes, listen, there's still an opportunity.
Bridge that gap.
Yeah, I like to call it the Amazon effect. Like, we buy things on Amazon because we first read the review and then we buy. We don't just automatically buy the first thing we see. And I think for hotels that are now ramping up and things are going to be opening up later this summer, end of the year, or maybe even this summer, things are going to pick up. And at that point, people are going to be looking and planning their trips, even for next year and even for later this year. People are planning their trips right now. So what's happening in your hotel as far as, are you focused on what people are doing and where they are? So if they're on a review side or a booking side, how are your reviews? And a lot of hotels are still making that mistake of not putting in the effort to make sure that their reviews and they have a good placement on there. They have good, a good, just all around, put together profile. And I think that's an opportunity. So today we're talking about the 10 must-dos for hotel reviews. I think it's important that we get into this topic. And my question to you, Joanne, is what do you think the number one website for reviews are right now? What's the number one?
For sure, it's Google. Google is the number one site for reviews for many reasons, and one of those being that there's quite a lot of detail when you do research on Google. It gives you the location, it gives you a quick access to the hotel itself. So Google is number one, and I would say that Tripadvisor is number two. I think it might need a bit of an overhaul. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I will, because I think it does. And then not really a review site, but really booking.com comes in a close third when it comes to the place where people are leaving reviews. Booking.com. Yeah.
Right. And people are reading them every single day, making booking decisions. Right. My question to everybody is that's watching is, what's the website that you're most focused on? The top three. And I would love to hear your comments. I see your comments in the comments right now as far as what's the number one website that you focus on every single day, and you wake up in the morning and say, did we get reviews on this website? Because it's important that we're talking about having an amazing online presence. Your reviews are like the top thing that converts those lookers into bookers. So let's get into the 10 must-dos for hotels when we're talking about your reviews. And these are not in any, they're not in any order, but I like to start off, we're talking about review sites, is making sure that your listing on your review sites that you're focused on is updated, right? So maybe your hotel was closed last year. Maybe you didn't put up the new pictures that you might need to because you renovated. Maybe your listing doesn't show the new awards that you won in the last few months or maybe a year or less. Maybe it doesn't show the new cleanliness standards that you have. This is an opportunity for you right now to update your listing on every single page or every single platform, including the Google, including Booking, including all the other websites that you're focused on when you're talking about reviews. Joanne, can you add to that as far as what people should be doing on their listing page?
I just think that, as you said, the images have to be up to date. All the information has to be up to date. And actually, I know you're going to come to this, I guess, but one of the most important things is to make sure that you have recent reviews. And obviously, that's not that easy if you've been closed, but it's really important to try and get as many positive reviews, but as many reviews as possible onto your site, onto those sites as well.
Yeah, because the people that are looking to book right now, and if they see a review from like 2019 or early 20 or mid 20, they're like, well, what happened? This hotel's open, but like, does why is there no feedback? And I think that's people, you get skeptical, especially like for me, if I'm booking or buying something, I always read the reviews and I say, when was the most recent? So that I feel comfortable that somebody just stayed there. They had a great stay, right? So when you consider, I always put myself, when I'm thinking about doing marketing in any perspective, I always put myself into the guest's shoes. What are they seeing as far as the review? What do they want, out of the experience of booking, and what are they looking for? And so I think when you have an updated review and you have a recent review, I think it's important and people feel comfortable about that, especially right now as a lot of people have a lot of questions on social.
I think you're right. I think that there's a bit more acceptance of the fact that maybe there won't be a review for a year because obviously in many countries they've physically been closed. But I think a report on Google said that that anything that's over a month old in normal times is by the consumers considered irrelevant.
Yeah. So if you were closed for a particular time, put that in your description. Say we were closed from this time to this time. So when people are reading a review, they say, oh, here's the reason why there was no reviews in the last 6 months because they were closed. And if it was on your description, then people get to understand that it's okay that they don't have a current review. So that's number one. Number two is get your entire team involved. It's not just the hotel owner or the general manager's duty to bring on reviews, but it's the entire team to get them involved. And Joanne, what do you recommend when we're talking about bringing our team together to have this one goal of amazing reviews on social?
Well, I mean, that covers an awful lot, doesn't it? That ensures that, well, first of all, if you want reviews, there's nothing wrong with negative reviews. Negative reviews are good as long as they're the minority. So you want good reviews and you have to therefore train your staff. But of course, it's very important upon checkout, and some hotels have contactless checkout. And I don't think that's a good thing necessarily, because then you can't communicate with your guests, and then they check out, they don't have any contact with anyone, and then they write a negative review. So by, speaking to the guests and really asking them, meaningfully, did you enjoy your stay? Because a lot of times they just say that while they're printing off a bill. You say no, and they don't even hear that. They go, oh, that's great. So, they have to listen and they have to ask the right questions. And, assuming that the guest had a good stay, then yes, tell them to please do leave a review. I mean, you're not allowed to incentivize people to leave a review. That's not allowed. That's almost illegal. But you can certainly incentivize your staff to say, the more people who mention you in a review, I don't know, maybe you become an employee of the month. Or so there are many ways around it, but basically you have to ask. You don't ask, you don't get. And there are also automated systems where you follow up with an email with a link asking them to leave a review, especially if they've checked out, they've said they've had a great stay. You kind of refer to that and then send them an email. And as I said, the link is important. People want easy. They want easy. They don't want to have to navigate things and find things themselves. They want it easy.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the tips that we're going to talk about. But getting your entire team involved is really get them together and let them understand the importance of getting reviews. And I think that's important when you share these reviews with the entire team. One tip I have is get your entire team. Everybody has a smartphone now. Everybody can download an app for free. Get them to download these apps where your reviews are sitting. Like you have that Google Business app that you can download, or even the Google, your Google listing, have them download and save that as an app. Then you can just click on it. It automatically opens up your latest reviews. Same thing with Tripadvisor. So that's getting your team involved. Now, getting your team involved not only is it's a challenge because you're like, well, all right, well, I want to get my team involved. How do I do that? Well, one thing that I recommended in the past, and I still do, is set goals. So we have at our hotels, we have revenue goals, right? We want to make this much money this month. But why don't we have a review goal, right? And so if you focused on 5 different review sites, Booking, Google, any of the different websites, why aren't we focused on giving goals now to our team because they're involved? So let's say you had 5 different websites and you had Patty that was working at the hotel. Patty, tell me how many reviews you can get on Google this month, right? And so she says, oh, I think I can get like 2. Have a goal in mind with that individual person. You do that with every single person. Guess what? Now they have homework to do and they have a goal to reach. As owners and operators and GMs, we have a revenue goal. Give these small goals to these individual associates so they have something to look forward to. And then behind that, like you were talking about, do an incentive program where anytime your name's mentioned, you get something, a gift card, a day off, something, points. I like to say, hey, there's also an opportunity, instead of spending money, you can give points away. You can give, if you earn, for every good review with your name positively mentioned, you get 1 point. After 10 points, you earn a $5 gift card. There's so many different ways you can incentivize your team to get more reviews. Because listen, if it was just up to you by yourself as an owner or manager, it's going to be so hard for you to get reviews. And so that's why I always like to get the incentive program together because, we're human. And I feel like it's always like, what's in it for me? And so what's in it for our team to get more reviews for our property? And that way we convert those lookers into bookers. And that's my number 4 tip. Now, number 5 is get tools. And tools, is get those cards, get signage, get placards, get all those things that show that you want reviews. It's not just one little piece of paper behind the front that says post a review, but it's like I was sharing this with Joanne. Every single associate at our hotels has their own business card after 90 days. And prior to those 90 days, they have a way to write their name onto a blank card that asks for reviews. And that's powerful, right? You can actually get those cards at smartguests.com. But these are the things that we have to do to be involved and get our team involved, right? So imagine this. When's the last time a housekeeper's had her own business card or his business card, right? Never. The only person that usually has a business card at a hotel, can anybody guess? Hit the comments and let me know. Yes, you're right. It's the GM or the director of sales. But what about everybody else? They feel proud of working at the hotel too, right? And so getting everybody involved is making them feel special, making them a part of the team, and getting them business cards. It's so cheap now to get them these little tools. And that way they have an opportunity to use this tool to get reviews. Simple things like these where we have signage. And then also those tools there's digital ones too, right? There's the ones there's a bunch of different websites. I don't want to say a particular brand, but there's so many different companies out there right now that offer a texting tool, an email tool post-stay, right? There's so many different tools and software that you can use that is very affordable right now. Actually, Tripadvisor has their own thing too. So definitely get the tools, get your team involved with cards, signage, all those things. Be ready because you want to get reviews, and this is how you do it. Do you recommend anything else, Joanne, around tools?
I know. I think you've covered it all.
There's actually a few more things, but we'll maybe save them for another time. All right. So the number 5 or 6 thing is hotels forget to ask for reviews. And Joanne, do you see that where you had a great stay? I loved my stay there, but they forgot to ask me. Like, can you post a review? Simple thing. Mr. Smith, you loved your stay here. Do me a huge favor. Somebody on my team will get employee of the quarter or employee of the week or something happens. If we can be number 1 on Tripadvisor, we can be number 1 or top ranked on Google. Now, if they loved you, guess what? It's the law of reciprocity that you offer the great stay. Everything was amazing. They're happy to help you. And so asking for that review helps.
I think it's also important that your staff, as well as with this point, that they understand actually the psyche behind why people post reviews, and actually people want, especially now, they actually want to help you. So if they have had a good experience in a hotel, they do want to share that experience, but maybe by the time they get home, they've got different things to think about. So, a little email into their inbox, and it reminds them, please do support us if you had a good stay, or we know you had a good stay, or you told us on checkout that you loved the waiter in the kitchen, or in the waiter, in the restaurant. So, please post a review. And if you don't ask, you don't get. But people do want to leave reviews. They usually forget, that's all. So if as I said, you don't ask, you don't get.
Right. And I think that's true for any business. I mean, it doesn't matter what brand you are. I know there's brands out there, and we see a comment there that says Marriott doesn't allow us to ask. There are other ways to finesse that rule, and I think there's some opportunity for all of us to ask, especially those loyal guests that stay with you every single week. Like, was there an opportunity that you were able to ask for a review, or at least get a review out of them? There's so many different ways that you could do this. And guess what? For me, honestly, I'm going to say that 1 or 2 times a year that the hotel brand comes to do a QA inspection of my hotel, I have 360 plus days out of the year that I have an opportunity to connect with my guest and benefit my hotel by amazing reviews, than worry about my brand that maybe comes twice a year and inspects my hotel. There's a huge opportunity that we miss. And I feel like if we're here to make money and we're here to grow this business, we can't allow somebody to not allow us to do something. Now, as long as you're doing authentically, as long as you're caring with that guest, as long as you're not spamming them, as long as you're not texting them without their permission, yes, and that's kind of my opinion. But really follow what your guidelines are around your management company and how you operate. This is what I believe in. This is a business. We're here to serve. We're going to do the amazing job of taking care of you, right? But we're also going to ask, like, hey, can you do us a favor by doing this and that and the other? I've had amazing connections with hotel and restaurants where they've done a great job, and it was the way they asked for that review. It wasn't like, hey, can you post a 5-star review? It was how they said it. So when you're talking about reviews and asking for them, there's different ways of doing it. And that's just a tip that I would want to share, with you guys, because I think it's an opportunity that you're leaving on the table if you're not asking, especially if they loved your stay, right?
But why would somebody not want to be? Sorry, I don't know who that. Because the thing is about the more reviews you get, the more content that's written about you, the more visible you become, and therefore the more people can see you. So I understand they might not want to be intrusive, but at the end of the day, there are so many advantages to it. And as you said, it's how you ask them. Yeah.
Right. So honestly, there are brands that don't allow you because of certain rules and ways of communicating and sending out emails and all. There's a bunch of reasons why. I don't want to get into them, but my tip is go ask for reviews. It's helpful. It works. It helps your business grow, and you fill room, especially right now as we all come back and grow. Now, the next thing is, once you got a review, once you ask for a review and, maybe they didn't respond. Maybe it was your friend that stays every week with you. You can follow up with them. Like, hey, I noticed that last week I sent you an email, or I asked for a review. I haven't seen your review yet. Like, what happened? And they're like, oh, usually I forgot, or I didn't get an email from you, or I didn't know how to do it. So if you walk them through the process of the importance of why, and then how to actually do it, it's easier than not doing anything. And that's an opportunity there where we're talking about reviews. And, all right, so the next thing is read reviews every single day. We alluded to this, like we talked about this. Your entire team now is involved. Are they reading reviews every single day? Are you reading reviews every single day? I know we're all busy. We're doing 1,000 things. We might be working the front desk as a manager, or we might be doing a bunch of other things. We might be cleaning rooms. I know some owners and managers and DOSs that are cleaning rooms right now because staffing is an issue. Spend a few minutes out of your day to focus on where people are coming in, because it could help you convert those lookers, like we talked about, into bookers, and reading reviews and finding out what issues you might have or what the positivity was at your hotel, and focusing more on those things could help you too, as far as getting that guest that might have stayed with you the first time, convert them into a loyal guest, and read the reviews. And then the next thing is, a lot of hotels still do not respond, or if they respond with a generic copy and paste response. And before I get into this, you have to share these reviews with your team, right? That's an opportunity. When you get a review, when you see it, share it with your entire team, good or bad. But when you're responding, don't just copy and paste. But Joanne, this is what you're an expert at. What should we do when we're talking about responding to reviews?
Well, there's quite a few tips really, but you have to understand that when people leave a review, it's kind of like it's free advice, isn't it? I mean, some companies pay, consultants a lot of money to come in and review a situation, but the guest is actually doing that for you. So it's really important. First of all, the thing that bothers me more than probably anything is Rupesh Patel has left a review and if you reply, dear valued guest. Well, if they're that valued and they've got their name up there, write their name, because when you don't include a name, it's kind of a red flag that this is going to be a generic response. So my tips would be to include the name of the guest if they've left their name. Make sure that you sign off with a person's name as well. Use a telephone number, include a telephone number. You can't do that on OTA sites, but you can certainly do that on Tripadvisor and Google. And by leaving a telephone number and an email address, it means that if the guest, not who's left the review, but potential future guests are reading a review and they're reading the response, that they've decided they want to book your hotel because they've chosen you out of the 5 that they've read, then it's easy for them to pick up the phone or send an email straight away because it's there in the reply. They don't have to navigate. And the other tip, again, is, as a hotelier, you want more direct business. You want to reduce your costs. You want to make money. There are 3.5 billion hotel searches a month on Google and Tripadvisor combined. That is the audience. So tell them that you want to, you want your more business to come directly by giving them an incentive to book directly, and you can do this on Google and Tripadvisor. So, for example, on these sites, you can say book direct, stay 4 nights or longer, so you're also incentivizing them to stay longer, and get a free bottle of wine or a free massage or free parking or free resort for free. So as a crowd, and even on the OTA sites, you can stimulate length of stay. So you stay exactly the same, but without the book direct. So stay 4 nights or longer, we'll give you a bottle of wine or we'll give you free parking. So, these are so wasted. Just saying thank you, dear valued guest, thank you for your review, have a nice day, it's a wasted opportunity. So those are my tips.
Yeah, would you recommend? I mean, I recommend customizing each response. So if they said they love the cookies, I'm so happy that you loved our cookies. They're baked fresh every single day, and we take pride. Betty takes pride in making them every single day, and we serve them at 4 o'clock. So we do lemonade cookies at 4 p.m. daily, and so that's an opportunity for marketing. And a lot of hotels still miss that opportunity where they can put in a little subtle marketing into the response that could help them for a future guest. So let's say, imagine I'm looking for a hotel in a certain area. I read a review, and then I read the response. I didn't know they served cookies. That's a plus. I'm like, oh, these guys serve cookies. That's amazing, right? And I know exactly what time, because a lot of times when hotels have these certain special things, maybe they don't share it to the public. And this is the good thing about the reviews, where the guest says, oh, they also do this, or they do not do this, as an opportunity for us to fix that issue too. Now, when there's a negative review inside of whatever site, some hotels don't even respond to those reviews. And Amir says, hey, did you know that Disney, the gold standard in hospitality, has a policy of not responding or interacting with reviews? I didn't know that. That's very interesting that Disney does not respond to their reviews. But hey, who knows? But I think as hoteliers, individually owned and operated hotels like ourselves, we definitely respond to reviews. And if they're good or bad, we respond to all of them. And we make sure that you're not yelling on social when you're talking about a negative review. You take it as an opportunity for you guys to grow, opportunity for you to learn. And I think that's an opportunity when we're talking about the things that we do on at our hotel, especially on our review sites, as far as reviews. And I think it's important that we all take these 10 or 12 things that we talked about today and make a list and really get into them, because this is what people are looking for. Imagine you're looking to go buy something. You're reading a review. You're also reading the response because you want to know what other people said about this one thing. And I love doing that. I just traveled recently, and I'm going to be traveling this summer too. This is what I'm doing. I'm not just picking any hotel because of whatever, but I'm making sure that they have the guidelines, or they have this that I'm looking for. And so there's a lot of marketing opportunities inside of that review response. But we talked about
Sorry, I just also want to highlight the fact that at the moment, cleanliness is so important. It doesn't matter what country you're in. And on the OTA sites, if they might have a review, it was poor review, or it was okay, or it was good, whatever. But you have the gradings above. So if somebody's marked 10 out of 10 for cleanliness, and even if they haven't mentioned that in their actual comment, you can highlight the fact, because I believe that that's still the number one thing that people are looking for, to make sure that the hotel is, not COVID friendly, but, that they're geared up and they're doing everything they can to make sure that the hotel is clean, and where applicable, people are wearing masks and taking all the right precautions. So it really does gives you the opportunity to highlight and showcase the things that you're doing to protect your guests, because that's really important for them right now.
Absolutely. Well, we share the 10 must-dos of your hotels and the reviews. Please go back and review this with your entire team. If they have to watch this episode again and make sure that they understand, and maybe your other leaders that are at your hotel, everybody needs to focus on reviews, as it is still an opportunity for those bookers, or get those lookers into bookers and convert them into hopefully a long-term loyal guest. And that's what we're here to do, is we're here to make a big difference in the guest stay, but then also get something out of them. And that's a review. Joanna, it's a pleasure having you on. Where can people find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn under, Joanne Green, or Reviews for You. www.reviewsforyou.com is the website.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joanne. We'll see you on Clubhouse in a couple minutes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Joanne's awesome. Please follow her on social. Please follow her on LinkedIn. We're doing a Clubhouse right after this. Guys, next week, I am super excited. And by the way, the big announcement this week, and I think I forgot to announce it earlier, the big announcement, and I'll be posting on LinkedIn about this, is I'm hosting a hospitality meetup. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here it is, guys. Super excited. May 10th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I'm hosting a hospitality meetup in ATL. So if you're a hotel owner, investor, manager, maybe attending the Hunter Conference, which I'm going to be at, please join us. It's a secret private location. So register at rupesh.co /meetup, and super excited about this. And this is all sponsored by my buddies at Hotel Effectiveness. Definitely give them a shout out. Thank you so much to Chantel, Dell, and the entire team at Hotel Effectiveness for setting this up. I'm super excited to meet all of the folks that are going to be attending this meetup, and it's for hospitality professionals. This is a time that we're all going to stay safe, but we're going to connect with each other, and super excited about this. Grow your network. Come get some drinks and some food on us, and super excited. Thank you so much to Hotel Effectiveness. Guys, next week, prior to me going to ATL, is we're going to have the folks from Hunter Hotels, how to own a hotel. So if you're ever had a dream about owning a hotel, next week's show at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Super excited. We're going to have a great conversation. I will see you then, guys. Please hit the like button, comment, and please reshare this episode. Talk to you guys next week. All right. And by the way, there are 3 ways. And by the way, I almost forgot. This episode is sponsored by smartguests.com. Somebody put that in the comments. And there are 3 or 4 ways you can support me and my show. This show is subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Rupesh Live. You can download the past 86 episodes now on my Spotify. It is anchor.fm/Rupesh CO. Always connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram. Instagram, it is Rupesh. I forgot it's Instagram.com/Rupesh CO. Guys, thank you so much. Talk to you guys next week. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. See you soon.